Basically, Orphan Acres started with people just bringing me animals because they knew that I cared about them. They knew that I knew how to take care of different types of animals. My animal caregiving goes back to when I was a little kid, and our neighbor used to raise exotic animals. We were always over there taking care of cats, the kittens, and by cats and kittens I'm talking about African lions, bobcats, exotic animals, chimpanzees, whatever. I've always had a liking for horses. Ever since I was a little kid, I always liked horses. Where we lived, it was impossible to have a horse. Things changed and things moved and we moved, and I went to work for Bill Anderson. He had a riding stables there. I managed that for a while. So I got involved with horses. I learned how to drive horses. I learned how to shoe horses. I've worked with some veterinarians. I've worked with horseshoers. I've worked with a lot of people, all of which have passed on knowledge to me, which has come in extremely handy and beneficial to the animals that come here, because I know how to handle and take care of and treat the problems that they come in here with. I mean, this horse, you saw him stand here. He's got a major wound. You saw me go in there with a set of surgical scissors and cut a bunch of that dead skin away. And he is blind on one side. So what you saw was total trust from an animal that when he got here couldn't be trusted. He came here for rehab to get rehabilitated from his problems. Which he's done pretty much. We try and let everybody know what his problem is before they get around him. Put him with the wrong person, and within a matter of a couple of months, he's the most vicious, mean animal you ever saw. You can take an animal that is like this and treat him with respect. Be calm, quiet around him, and don't let him bully you. Not by beating on him, but by just acknowledging him and turn him around the other way. All animals basically work the same way. Not only horses, but zebras, elephants, anything. Food goes in that end, it comes out this end. They're all the same. What's in between is what we create. So we have to create what we want. And that's all in how you handle it.
Well, I got involved with Brent here at Orphan Acres just about 6 weeks ago, although I've known about the place for a couple of years. I'm a disabled vet, retired from the Army, and I can't do a lot physically, but therefore I have quite a bit of free time. I served in that little-known conflict known as Grenada, which now with all the big wars, nobody remembers that little one. I was injured in an accident there when I was 18, and I spent a total of 9 years in the Army. I got in and out a couple different times, and then I had another accident during training for the Gulf War, and then they medically separated me in 1993. And I originally had intended to come once a week, twice a week for a couple hours, because as I said, physically I can't really keep going more than a couple hours at a time. But since I've come and got to know Brent, I come here as much for him as I do for the horses, because I see that he gives so much to the horses. He needs to get something back, because the horses can't help him with his housework. They can't go out and cut the hay. They can't fix the tractor. He's not looking for a pat on the back, but I would like to see him get one. But in more in the form of help, whether that be financial or what have you.
We have funding that comes in off of our fundraisers that covers everything we do. Guaranteed, we're always at the bottom of the barrel, because this is pretty much a money pit. Anything we do, we get charged for. We go to a veterinarian, the veterinarian doesn't give us a break. We go to the horseshoer. We're lucky we have a horseshoer that donates to us every single month. If he wasn't doing that, that would be $35, $40 per horse to trim their feet. There's 79 horses here. We have to send out requests for funding to let people know what we're doing, and that all costs money. Our biggest expense is postage and printing.
Like I say, I was looking for something positive to do, just sitting at home, wasn't cutting it. And I'm a religious person, and I believe you have to give something back, because I believe you're going to answer for everything you did, and not as well as not only everything that you did, but what didn't you do? In other words, what could you have done? So I may not be able to change the world, but maybe I can make it a little easier on Brent to take care of these horses, and bring more people out.
He's devoted his life to this, and it's a different kind of person that would devote their whole life to rescuing horses.
Where would they be? Where would they go? Who would take them? Nobody. Why is the animal not responding to the child? Is the child trying to push the animal to do something that the animal doesn't want to do? Making the animal think that what they're doing is their idea. You're along for the ride. You're suggesting things to the animal or the horse that this is what you would like to do, and if you present it in the right way, the animal will do that.
As far as my PTSD goes, is anytime I don't want to say anytime I'm away from people, but the horses help in the sense that they're not people. It's nice to have something that doesn't ask you for anything, doesn't want anything from you. Well, it wants to be fed, but I mean, doesn't have any complaints.
There are many places in the country that use horses in therapy, and a lot of people don't know about it.
I kind of wanted to start a program myself to use them as the horses as therapists to work with kids that's been through traumas, but I wanted to use horses that's been through traumas too. We bring some little girls out here, some friends of ours. One little girl, she doesn't talk hardly at all at home, and then she come out here, and when she went home, that's all she did was talk about this being out here, and it's something that works.
Nobody ever has come out to this ranch and said you're not welcome. And I think that there's a lot of people in town that have roots that go back to when they were a child maybe, or their families were pioneers. There's a yearning within all of us to get back to nature. And this provides it for me. This is an opportunity for me and my friends, my veteran friends, to come out here and enjoy themselves and do something good. And so I encourage everybody to invest some time, and Lord knows we need resources here, and so there's a lot of things that need to be done.